5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody?
I actually hit you.
You kind of hit my head.
Yeah, I aimed for farther where you were gonna try to duck back instead of where you already were.
Well, I'm Judge James.
I'm Judge Evie.
And this is Living for Crits, and it's Friday and stuff. We just finished celebrating Eli's, your elder brother's birthday, Eli's birthday. Yeah. So that was a big deal. And now we're down here on the show.
Here we are.
Just doing
doing
like we do. So anyway, I got big news. Big, important news. My mom made me a sweater.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wearing it. And Evie said that I look like I am a librarian.
Yeah.
Eli said, look at Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, that too.
So I'm also wearing my new PAX, I guess it's an Actress's Ink scarf that Jen got me from.
Oh, we're both wearing green.
From PAX Unplugged, because I'm cold. It's cold in here.
Move your hand up.
Hello.
We're both in green.
Welcome to Living for Crits. Anyway, we got a show tonight. I almost said a fun show, but I don't know how fun. It's just a show. It's a
just
thing.
kind of a normal show.
It's a thing. So I really feel like we're really full of energy this evening.
I'm so tired. No,
all right.
I am pumped up.
We're pumped. Tonight we're talking about our experience running Wrath of God.
Yeah, we are.
So here we go. This is Ian Usom's adventure for Mothership, and we ran this on Friday.
Yeah.
I ran this on Friday.
I did not.
For all of them.
Wait, I'll model.
That was Evie's face for most of the adventure. It was like, what's up, Dev? So, anyway, when we talked about experience with this and stuff, here shortly. But first, we have Judge. It is slim. Mr. Citra says it looks slim. It is. It is a pamphlet adventure. You can get it for $2. But it's we're gonna go in a little bit. So let me hold off on saying about that. We have Judge Evie presides.
Yeah, we do.
Segment of the show. This is the part of the show where you can send questions to Judge Evie, but really they're for me. And it's dccjudgeevie@gmail.com, right? They're for me because you don't answer the questions. You can answer questions. You just yawn. You just yawn. That's all you do. That's what you do. You show up and yawn.
That's true. I only yawn in the worst times. Like we'll be mid-song for
like when we're doing a show.
No, I'll be mid-chorus.
Like it's time to do a show and you're like, I'm tired.
I always yawn right before I start singing.
All right, do the thing. Do the thing.
Okay.
Question.
I'm doing the thing. It's from Brian. It's called Questions.
This question is called Questions.
Good day, Judge Evie and Judge James. Still hot and humid in Queensland. ... Questions for the big show. ... Number 1 for Judge Evie. Oh boy. I never read these, so that's really exciting.
Good job, Evie, in the prepping. Go ahead, read the question.
I'm trying to help encourage my son to run some games for us.
You're gonna ask Evie?
What advice would you give a 12 to 13-year-old player who wants to start judging?
This is a really important question for you. What's your advice?
I'm trying to think of something good. I'm trying to think of some good advice.
Wow, you seem really prepped. Like you just really showed up for this one.
I'm trying to think. What did I do? What did I do to start?
And Brian's here to listen to you answer the question poorly.
I'm so sorry.
Brian's saying good morning. Just made it. Look at that. It's morning in Queensland, and you're having a hard time answering this the first question.
I'm trying to think of what I did to get started, so that I can relay really good information because I turned out so great.
You run a few games.
Yeah.
Say that.
You start with a small group of people.
Yeah.
That you can actually trust.
Right,
and then you advance.
And then you say you quit.
I did not. No, what?
You quit.
No. But you start with a small group.
A small group.
And if you do what I did, I gave a whole speech saying at the beginning, being like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna mess this up so badly."
Really lower those expectations, right?
I lowered
Just set them low.
I lowered the expectations. So then you can do better than them, or just stick to them, and no one can be like, what the heck?
Get a small group and lower your expectations, and that is how you start judging. Great. Next question. What a great answer. how inspirational you are.
I'm so inspirational.
The youth of the world. That essentially is you know, right now the Olympics are going on. That's what they tell every good athlete when they're young, you know? Lower your expectations and get a small group. All right. Read the next question.
See, Brian says great advice.
Yeah, Brian's look, lowering expectations is good in the working world as well. Totally agreed.
Because then you know, like, exceed expectations.
You don't want to exceed expectations unless they're going to exceed your pay. Go ahead and read.
Number 2, for Judge James.
Oh crap.
Could you discuss your thoughts on the DCC Empire of the East book? I bought it, but have never used it in game.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So I have some thoughts.
I'm gonna keep you on it.
My thoughts are so put together. I will be actually running it at Gen Con. So I'm running both adventures from the back of it at Gen Con 2022 and in person at the con. So so I have read the book, the DCC book. I also read the source material. So I've read the Saberhagen novels, and it's not my favorite post-apocalyptic literature. I enjoyed the first one, you know, with the elephant. So that was cool. I think the book was called The Elephant. It was about the tank, though, the elephant. I like the last book in the series. I think it was the one when they were doing the invasion. Yes, this is Wrath of God, Babacus, because we're talking about, in a second, we're talking about the Wrath of God adventure from Mothership. We're not quite there yet. I think Wrath of God just fits well as a good title for the show, though. Anyway, I think if you want a fun science fantasy setting and you are going to use just the setting material, I think Empire of the East is pretty good for that. It's kind of bare bones. There's not a lot to it. It's a fairly thin, but it's nothing like what you get for Lankmar. My only issue with it, and I'm going to say this works, is actually, unless I've missed something, there's no way to heal in the game. The game takes out...
You just want to invoke death.
They take out clerics, so it's just warriors, wizards, and thieves. And there's no fleeting luck mechanic or luck mechanic for healing that's in there that I've seen. So you really can't heal yourself. And there's no healing spells for wizards that I saw. So that's going to be interesting how that works at the con this summer, because I'm going to run it just like it is. So I would say, you know, Brian, you say the setting seems cool, but never read the original Empire of the East novels. Read the original Empire of the East novels. You can buy them, I think, in a collection. Read them. It's a week and a half read. It's not bad. I mean, again, I like the Dying Earth stories more, so was more my jam. But it's decent. Not my favorite DCC product, but, you know, something there. It's a glowing endorsement by Judge James. Next question.
Mm-hmm. This one's for both of us. Number 3.
You don't need healing when every encounter involves cuddling? I don't remember cuddling the tank. Empire of the East. Okay.
For both judges, have you ever run... This word's so funny looking. Impromptu.
Wait a second. You're breaking down because of the word impromptu is so funny looking?
Impromptu and good bones.
Wait, impromptu what? You have to read.
And the phrase good bones you said was funny.
I didn't say good bones.
Yeah, you did.
When?
20 minutes, not 20 minutes ago, like 2 minutes ago. I started laughing because you're like, good bones.
Okay, go ahead and read. I don't remember saying that. I'm not doubting I did, but go ahead. Read the question. My gosh, this is so hard.
For both judges, have you ever run impromptu games, parentheses, where you do not have time to prep in advance, parentheses, question mark? If so, come on. What advice do you have? I'm thinking of trying to add a few RPG sessions in during nights when we could normally play card games or a board game. Cheers, Brian. I'm yawning again.
My advice would be if you always have a short adventure ready to go, whether that's something that's, I would say, a DCC thing. And eventually you've run before, maybe not for that group of friends. Or alternatively, and this is where I'm going to say, I'm pimping my Mothership stuff here. Pamphlet-sized adventures are great because you can read it in 2 seconds, pretty much, or maybe like 5 minutes and prep it. Another really good system for impromptu games, I will say, is the format. The Cypher System adventures are written for like Numenera and the Strange in the adventure books. So I think it's Weird Discoveries is the one. Strange Translations, I think, is the other. So Exploration Keys, those books are 2-page adventures. You can read them really quick, and then Savage Worlds has 1-sheets. If you just want to wing it though and do something from Crazy Town,
I would do that. I used to do that all the time.
I mean, a fun thing would be to use like adventure dice, so you could come up with a pretty good plot with just those Rory story cubes, and I've done a lot with those.
I used to do, when I would run the No Thank You Evil things at the booth, like the demos, I would go around and I'd ask like each kid. I would do the adventure cubes, but like I would ask each kid for a plot point, and then I would just write it down and then make a story as I went along.
Yeah, I mean, just wing it. Just hang out, or take a movie or a movie plot.
Yeah.
That and take a piece from that movie, like Devil Wears Prada. That you're.
I love that movie.
You take a scene where you have to like find the book, the mysterious book, and.
Why are you laughing?
I heard The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
I love that movie.
There's the scene in there where Andy, I think her name's Andy in that.
Yep.
Yeah, Andy has to go and get a manuscript of the yet to be released copy of
the book,
the Harry Potter book.
Yeah, the Harry Potter book.
And so you can turn it into a wizard's manual or something like that. You can just take a movie plot and work with it. So,
also, I have tea. Guys, in my special mug. My tea.
in your Clueless mug. Any other questions?
No.
No.
Oh, we have an email from Greg though.
Gotcha.
It's not a wrap.
Not a wrap.
I'm traveling this week. Sorry to miss the show, but I will catch it on replay. I mean,
That's
I think,
it?
wait. Yeah, because that was from 11 days ago.
Okay. All right. Well, no problem.
Oh,
Greg.
wait.
What?
Never mind, that's also from last time.
Okay.
I
Dev
have that.
says he's been getting so many encounter ideas from Clone Wars. It is a wonderful TV show. I have not seen the latest series that when it came over to Disney Plus, like the latest season or whatever, but I have watched most of them. So, watching Boba Fett now, which is interesting. We're only 2 episodes in. You
I
aren't.
haven't seen any.
Evie's not in. I'm in.
I'm not into Star Wars shows.
Yeah,
I like more the movies.
I'm Star Wars'd out, so I mean it's just my take. All right, so again, if you have questions, you can send to dccjudgeevie@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can.
And let's talk Wrath of God. So, all right, this is Wrath of God. If you've played Mothership, you know that these adventures, the stuff with it, really leaves a lot for you as a GM to kind of flesh out, but in the best possible way. Like, they pack a ton of stuff in here, but, it's up to you as the GM to really expand the story and make it your own. Wrath of God is wonderful, though, because this is a spaceship hex crawl.
Look, guys, it's hexes.
There's lots of hexes, and this is you in this adventure, you are transporting pilgrims to a space station called the Wheel, and it's all about the friends you make along the way, right?
Yeah.
So in the
It's
adventure,
fun.
you start at one section of the map, and you have to get to the other in your spaceship. You are in command of a spaceship.
Friends.
There are spaceship rules in the back of Mothership, although I did modify it to simplify things a bit because I wanted to turn our room into a spaceship
With a
itself.
spaceship.
In which is what we did.
Like, it's their friend.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hit the button because I think it's in trouble or
I
something.
think you get copyrighted or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
No.
So
We're
Brian
like
said
friends.
Boba Fett's okay. The last 2 are much better. Don't wait to spoil why, but you'll notice why they're better. And Brian always wanted to run a game about friendship also. So we're here talking about friendship.
What about My Little Pony?
So if you
But,
are
like,
interested
also this.
in a
But,
fun
like, mix
one
them
shot
together.
for
It's like
Mothership,
friendship.
and you've always wanted a game to
Anyways.
take place on a ship and just stay on the ship, mostly, this is a good adventure for you. There could be boarding actions and things like that. It is also part of a trilogy. So, Wrath of God moves right into The Drain, also by Ian Newsom. And then The Drain moves right into this lovely module called Meat Grinder, which the cover reminds me of Ultima 8 Pagan from when I was a kid and was playing the Ultima games. So my mom would not like the cover of this game, but I think it's pretty cool. I think the feel of these adventures is very much like Doom. So Dev's asking Wrath of God, the Bath of God. I guess you could take a Bath of God if you got really dirty on the, for sure on the ship. So we made sure that we set the ambiance for the room. For instance, we used, we had the whole room. If you go to our I Live for Crits
At
Twitter,
I Live for Crits.
I Live for Crits on Twitter.
I Live for Crits.
Or is it Living for Crits? It's I Live for Crits on Twitter, right? Yeah. If you got I Live for Crits on Twitter, you will find pictures from the event. It was Eli requested the game for his birthday. That's how we ran it. And I get the whole room all set up. Like this room was a spaceship for the event. We used these dry erase hex game tiles for the map.
Model.
So you can watch the bottom there. We also
They're upside down. No, they're not. But they are. But they're not.
We also made sure to use a lot of special lighting. So you can find LED lights really easily. And I can't tell you how cool it is to have these around the entire room. Wait, put it over there because we're going to mow one more thing. We had a whole room full of these and strings of these. They were everywhere. And one of the things we did with these was they all started blue in the room, and there were 8 stations in the room. And then what happened as we played?
As stuff would break, they would turn like yellow, and if it break more, they turn red. Oh my god, trying to blind me. And then if they completely broke, they'd turn off.
No, they would flash.
No, they wouldn't.
It would strobe actually. Yeah, they
That's
would shift.
Crazy, but when they were broken,
when they were broken, they'd turn off.
That's what I said. I said
right.
when they're broken,
that's a good point.
off. And you try to second guess me.
I'm sorry. We used lights like these, lots of flashlights. We kept the room dark.
Oh, I like this thing. It's
like that. Maybe. That's the bendy one.
Maybe.
But if you see, like we put to set the ambiance, you also had both.
Bro, you can't even turn it on.
Yes, you can. We had the TV in the front of the room with a captain's chair in front of it, and you had to sit there, and there was a joystick to control the ship. But really, there's a dice tray in front of the joystick. So if you wanted to fly the ship, you could sit in that chair. You had to roll the dice to roll your piloting roll.
You know what this looks like?
What?
You know when Monsters Inc. where there's like the Mike Wazowski's like girlfriend that's pink and has like
yeah.
That's what this looks like.
Like a Medusa.
Yeah, like the head part. Like
it's a Medusa light.
This is her head.
There you go, Medusa light.
Yeah, this is the chick from that movie.
Here's the book for the game. The other thing we used. So on the whiteboard, we used these spaceships from 0 Hour Art and Technology, who I talk about endlessly on whenever I talk about spaceships on this show. I'm discussing 0 Hour. My blog does as well because we had up hanging. We had our deck plan. So this is the inside of the ship.
I'll model this too. Wait, ready? Oh, up. I got this.
It's pretty cool when the deck plan matches the spaceship you have on the map.
Can you see it?
Yes, they can see it.
Can you see me?
Yes, they can see you.
No, wait. I want to be in it too.
Eddie Frankenstein is here.
Who?
And they said hello. And
Look
Mr. Citrus, the Ultimate games are amazing. The Ultimate games are so good.
I look like I'm in
Ultimate
water.
7 was my first game I was ever completely infatuated with. Like, after Zelda, obviously.
Look, it looks like we're like underwater if you show it like this. Like in the thing. Okay.
Alright, so props are very important, as you can see. Judge Evie, what was your favorite scene from the game? Your favorite event?
I think my favorite parts were when Cooper would do something. I don't even know. This will just happen periodically. Cooper would do something like open. So there were these little boxes that were like, "Do not open," and Cooper was like, "Well, I'm gonna open them a little bit." Meep. And then he would close really fast, like, and we're like, "Cooper, just open the box," and you were like, "What? No, I didn't open the box." Or like later, he was like walking around. He went, "Where's the puppet?" He was just walking around. He grabbed this puppet, and was like messing around with it on his hand. And then you were like, "Well, you have a thing on your hand now." And he's like, "What? No, I don't. No, I don't have a thing on my hand." And so then we would all just like be like, "Cooper, what the heck?" And he would just completely deny everything.
I did tell everyone that everything in the room had a purpose and a meaning. From the fact that this skull here glowed color and actually represented the ship's AI, to this PAX cube here was a cube they were gifted at one point while traveling. When we started, I told the players that if they were to meet anyone along the way and that person they met came on board the craft, I put a chair out for that person and
I
said
like this part.
that person was waiting to come in the room from the unfinished side of the basement. So everything on the finished side was the spaceship. Everything on the unfinished side was not. And it really did take me back to those when you're playing games as a kid, you're just playing with your friends, pretending the room you're in is a spaceship, you know. So with all the pew pew pew, but I was able to control the pew pew. When Cooper opened that box, my favorite part was the Sarge. So
love Sarge.
When Cooper opened the box, it said "Do not open." I had these two boxes on the table that said "Do not open." He opened it, and I said that one of the cryopods in the ship opened up, and that's when they realized that the passengers were not pilgrims at all, but they were prisoners being transported to a prison. And there was this like guy, this totally muscle-bound dude with a shaved head, who was Sarge. And I said I was going to bring the person in to play Sarge, so they have to interact with Sarge whenever Sarge was talking to them. And Sarge was, I used the Spock bear, the Spock Build-A-Bear that was gifted to me on my birthday years ago. So like I was like yelling at them, like, I don't want to go back! Don't put me back in the cryopod! You know, I'm not going!
We love Sarge. Why are you holding his neck like that? You're like, who?
So that was my favorite part, was playing and acting out Sarge, and how Sarge didn't want to go back on the ice, and eventually was asked to be let off the ship, which they did.
I liked when me and Bab would yell at each other.
There's a lot of fighting. Inter-party conflict. But in the end, you all, survived, and it wasn't a TPK.
Thanks to my plan. Just saying. You're like, no, it's not gonna work, and I was like,
you guys didn't want to finish the run of transporting the prisoners. You dropped them off at Joyland.
Yeah, thanks to me.
And then they went to prison anyway. So the next adventure is the Drain, which would be the follow-up to that, which I would like to run, and we'll see when I get a chance to run the Drain. Maybe soon. But great adventure, Ian, and wonderful work, Mothership team. I will put a link to the adventure in the notes. Actually, I'll put it in the. I will put it in the chat, as well as I will put it in the show notes. So we're gonna wrap that part up and talk about the Kickstarter shoutouts, which is just DCC 100. The Music of the Spheres is Chaos is coming. That's by Harley Stroh. And Eddie Frankenstein mentions there are so many Mothership zines on Kickstarter right now. I know there's one, it was like a Junk Planet one, and then there's one that takes place, was it in Other Tides or something like that? Like you're on a water world. I just did Hull Breach, so I'm probably gonna take a bit of a pause in the Kickstarters. Yeah, the Water Planet one. So I don't know if I'm gonna do any of those. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. We'll see. But they look cool, so definitely like do a search out there for Mothership Kickstarters, and you're gonna find quite a few. Road Crew shoutouts. We have Romance of the Cyclops coming May 13th to 15th. I do not know I'm running. I got to think about that. And then I've submitted my events for Gen Con, but Judge Evie has not. So we'll see if Judge Evie is just doing nothing at Gen Con. Very possible. What? What'd you say?
Trying to make me look bad.
No, I don't make you look bad. I'm sorry.
Let's see each of these videos.
No.
Well,
listen. I do not make you look bad. You make you look bad.
That's not true. I have not had time this week to sit down and read a freaking adventure because I've been doing stuff.
You don't have to read it. You just have to say what you're going to run. You can read it between now and the summer.
I had to read it first.
I mean, it might be a good idea if you know what's going on. You got to pick one.
I read the back.
Then you go pick an adventure.
I did.
Which one did you pick?
I want to run the Death Slaves one.
It's this thick. You can't run it in 4 hours.
Yeah, I can.
No, you really can't.
I'll work magic.
You can't.
I want to.
It's not a 4-hour module.
But I have a cool shirt. It looks so cool.
That may be, but you can't wear it for 4 days.
Says who?
Says I don't know. It says Marzio, the guy that wrote it. Marzio Mushedre wrote it, and
I think he would definitely let me wear it for 4 days straight.
Run Journey to the Center of Aerith. That also is a really big adventure. That's like saying run all of Peril on the Purple Planet in 1 day. That's impossible. Anyway, keep sending
Well,
Judge Evie like
it's death-
support about running
It's Death
adventures.
Slaves for Eternity, so maybe I'll just make it Death Slaves for 4 hours.
4 hours of Death Slaves. Death Slaves for 4. Oh, I get it now. I didn't get the joke. Oh my gosh.
See,
All right.
Eddie Frankenstein's believes that I can do Death Slaves in 4 hours.
There you go. All right. Where can folks find us, Judge Evie?
They can find us at I Live for Crits on Twitter, Living for Crits on Instagram, and Searching for Crits on YouTube.
All right. Well, until next time, be safe, be healthy, be kind. I'm just going to say as my outro ASMR, I'm going to say, would you like to know more?
What?
People who watch a certain movie will get it. You won't get it.
I'm just going to say...
Good night, everybody.